drove a little pink Corvette
How cute.
that had eyelashes.
Oh my god.
So it even was a thing back then. A stupid
I
thing.
hate it.
It's like, unless they blinked, and then maybe you'd have me ping it. It was like, okay,
Sure.
that's at least funny.
Sure.
I mean, I want the comic value of that, but...
Listen, I don't even like driving. I don't care about having a car. I just want to be chauffeured for the rest of my life.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't care. I don't name my cars. I don't...
I have once.
Right, because your car was Miss Daisy.
Yeah, because she was white and I drove her everywhere.
You are not right.
Well...
Until you sold her, and then you probably said the famous line, I ain't driving you in no more, Miss Daisy.
Yeah. I was like kind of bummed though. It's like my first car that I bought on my own. Bye. Tear.
Right.
But I didn't drive her anymore, so you can have her.
My first car I bought on my own was pretty exciting.
Was it a wagon?
It was. I paid $130 for it.
For a wagon?
Yeah, it was a radio flyer. No, it was a station wagon.
Oh, it was a wagon.
It was a wagon. That's why when you said that, I was all, yeah, totally was a wagon. It was a station wagon. It was this crappy old 65, and it was not 1965. It was 1981.
Oh.
So it wasn't really that old.
Just
It seemed really old at the
years,
time.
yeah.
But, I mean, I was 3 when the car was made, so yeah. But bought this car, and it was one of those cars where you had to check the oil
No.
like, every time you drove it.
No.
And here's my favorite story about that car.
No.
So I bought it. My roommate who I was just talking about, her sister called me one day at work, and she's like, her identical twin sister called me at work, and she goes, "Oh my god, I found a car for you," and I was like, "Cool."
Groovy.
There's this guy, and he's gonna meet us at the bar, and we're gonna. Oh, okay. I'm 19. I can't go to a bar.
Sure.
But whatever. It's McMinnville. They don't care. So I bought this car, and I was working at a gas station at the time, which is, for me, horrible. Because, you get dirty and gross and smell like gas and people and whatever. Anyhow, so I drive it to work, this lovely, lovely car, and the old man who worked there, who was the manager, who was like 100, maybe 150 years old. Old man. The first thing he does is like, "Come on up here, little lady, pop the hood. Let me see what you got under the..." I was like, oh my god.
Excuse me?
So, pop the hood. Once I figured out how to pop the
what's
hood.
that?
I'm all, what? Is that where you just put your hood up? No, pop the hood. And he's like checking everything. He's like, "Does everything work?" And I go, "Well, no, the horn doesn't work. But everything else seems to be in working order."
Sure.
So he tinkers around in there for a minute or two, and then he's like, "Give that horn a try." Well, I took him at his word. I didn't think that he meant, let me get out of the car first before you... Because he was up under the hood.
Well, you shouldn't make
He
that
didn't
mistake.
say, give me 5 seconds and then give the horn a try. I gave the horn a try, and it was a car from 1965. That horn was the kind of horn that, when working properly, says, "Get the fuck out of my way!"
It's like a
Unlike
fog horn.
horns now, which are like, excuse me, if it's not too much trouble, could you maybe...
They put a
move?"
foghorn in it from the local ship,
I think so.
Well, you
And
gained
so,
what you know.
I honked the horn.
and the man died.
No, but he jumped up, hit his head on
my God.
on the hood of the car.
And this was the first person you killed?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
What was his name? I'm gonna look him up.
It was just funny to me because it was like, first of all,
you said...
yeah, I did what you said, but it was that whole toxic masculinity of like, come over here, little lady, let me look at your car. Oh my god.
I don't want to.
Now, to be fair, I didn't know anything about my car.
Do you know anything about your car now?
Yes, I know what color it is. I know what... I almost said what breed it is. What brand
I'm
it is.
leaving.
I know what brand
Where are
it is.
we?
I know a couple things. But no.
No.
Like, have I ever popped the hood and looked at the end? No.
No, girl, because when
Oh
our
my God.
tire is low, we go to Les Schwab and we're all, can you
What
just
else
put
you gonna do?
air in it?
Go to the
yourself?"
gas station and pump. Oh, that's dumb.
I know.
You can go to Les Schwab, they put air in it free. Why would you do it yourself?
You don't have to do anything, I know.
Well, it's like the people who are like, you should know how to change your oil. Why?
Kiss my ass. Girl, it's
Why?
2022. It's called, job security. I'm making sure people have employment.
I mean, I always say I am more than willing to pay for jobs that I don't want to do myself. So I don't need to know how to change my oil. I'm certainly not ever going to teach my children because I don't know how to do it.
Also, are you going to be all by yourself driving somewhere that if your oil needs to be changed in the middle of nowhere, you're going to be able to handle it?
I better change my... Right, like I'll have all the supplies and... No.
I hate it.
But I have to tell you, because it's this story that just popped into my head that has nothing to do with anything other than pop the hood and whatever. One time, I bought a car, and it was a used car and whatever, but I bought it at a lot. And the next day, I went... I don't know why I was trying to open the hood. I think... Oh, it doesn't matter. But it wouldn't open. The hood would not open. And I did all the things that's like... And then I get underneath to look... And the little latch that is supposed to, open it up was broken.
Super glued shut.
Something. So I drove all the way back to the dealership, and they're like, "How did you not notice this yesterday?" Well, bitch, I didn't open the hood to look at... What am I going to do? They're going to pop the hood. I'm going to look at the engine like,
and be like, there
that
it
is an engine. It's all there. I can...
It's not just like... It's not hamsters running in wheels. It's like a whole engine. Oh my god, my last car was just hamsters.
To this day, when I buy a car, I still don't pop the hood. I don't look at the engine. Of course, I always buy new cars now. Or not buy.
You lease girl. Because you bougie, girl.
Because I'm bougie, right? Well, you know what? You get stuck enough times with the car breaking down and you're out in the middle of nowhere with it. No.
Ew.
My excuse, of course, now is I have children. And so I can't be anywhere with children with a broken down car.
No. Honey, no.
And back then, when I had cars that broke down, I didn't have a cell phone. So I was literally stuck somewhere.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I was born in a time before cell phones, but I don't know.
Relate.
But I don't know. I don't like
relate.
that.
Oh my god. We need to take a break.
Okay, see you soon.
And we are back.
Lucky you.
I know, right?
Lucky you.
So, it is time for our segment Out of the Drag Closet, where I just tell you a ridiculous story, or maybe not a ridiculous story. I might have some heartwarming,
heartwarming drag stories.
It could be. You don't know.
Her lifetime movie of a drag story.
You don't know. But the story I wanted to tell today is kind of how I got my first gig. I had just started performing. I started by doing an amateur night show, which I won. I still haven't gotten the trophy.
Just in case you were wondering.
A little bitter.
She was the best amateur.
I was the best of the worst. And whatever. I was fantastic. Although I look back on it now and I think, was I? Or was I really just the best of the people who were doing it for 10 minutes and going, oh yay, here she is, she gets a prize. But they didn't give me my prize. And I guess I'm not going to get one since the bar closed a year or so after that. So...
Probably not.
Not bitter, not holding on to that, whatever. It's just
you're not bitter? It's been 85 years and you're still talking about it.
Well, that is the point. Anyhow, so I started doing shows here and there around town and whatever. Well, I was doing a show at this little club that if you're from Portland, you'll know this as what it is now, which is the Jupiter Hotel. But then it was this restaurant on the top floor, a motel, and a bar underneath. And the bar was called Pa's Cellar.
I hate it.
And the restaurant was called Ma's Kitchen.
I'm leaving.
Well, and then of course there was the hotel, which was your typical kind of
what was that called?
Seedy motel. I don't know. That's a good point. It was all part of Ma's Kitchen. I don't know. You'd
house.
Stay in one of the seedy rooms and come down and have breakfast at the cafe. Anyhow,
stay in the seedy
cafe.
room.
And cafe, by the way, is a very nice word for what this place was. It was kind of your low rent Denny's diner.
Love it.
Anyway, so I was doing the show, and it was time of my life. Loved it. Had a blast. But one of the hosts had just quit, and they were doing shows there, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, maybe. That sounds right. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And one of the hosts had just quit, and I was standing there while Ma, who ran the joint, by the way...
Was there a Ma and a Pa? Really?
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
So it was this old couple who bought this thing, and Ma had a little problem with gambling, and so she didn't do so well with keeping the business afloat, which is probably why it closed. Anyhow, but she's talking to somebody else, and it's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. This girl quit. I don't have anybody to run the show. And I was standing there, and I was like, hey, I can do it. And she's like, have you ever hosted a show? And I'm like, of course I
A
have.
million of them.
Duh, look at me. And don't look at me because I've
19.
I've been doing it for about 10 seconds. Anyway, and she was like, so you want to take over the show? I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, you've got the job. Honest to God, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was talking about. I had never talked on a microphone.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah. So I was all, I can do this because my whole thought, I had been watching some show where some actress was like, no matter what they ask you if you can do, you say yes. And then you learn how to do it. Like, I want you to roller skate for this part. Okay. I can roller skate. Can you ride a horse? Sure, of course I can. Do it all the time. You know, and then you learn how to do it, and then you do the job.
Hopefully.
Well,
the hope is that you learn.
Right. I didn't really have any place to practice. So I just started doing it, and I'm sure I was not very good, but I like to talk, so there was that. And I always had people to perform, so there was that. And my friend, who would come do the shows with me, liked to do impressions. And was pretty good at them.
Okay, good.
So I would have him sometimes introduce people in the voice of some random celebrity.
Oh, cute.
And whatever. So that was fun. One of my favorite memories of that place, though, was because it was where it is. It was over on Burnside. There often were times where we were sharing the bathroom with sex workers.
Love that.
Who were freshening up.
I love that. Of course,
you
like
know,
you do.
between clients.
You need a place.
Girl, you got to have a good mirror, got to have good lighting, got to have some running water.
That's it.
And so I remember the first time I was in there, probably because I had to pee, I imagine, because the shows were long and the nights went on forever. But I remember going in there and I was like, what does that girl do? Oh, she's kind of douching in the sink. It's like, okay.
What a time.
Whatever. I mean, you know, I don't care.
Yeah, do your thing.
Do your thing. She didn't care that I was in there. I didn't care. Whatever.
Did she care that you were gawking at her, watching her vagina?
She probably did. She probably did. But I mean, I tried not to gawk.
So
At first, I was just like, why is her foot up on the... Oh. Well, because really, one, I was probably just super jealous that she could get her foot up on the counter and not fall over. Because that's not a skill I've ever had.
Right.
I would have been down for the counter. I went foot up, body down.
Night-night.
Yeah, night-night. It would have been night-night time for the big girl. But, you know, obviously it worked out well because then I hosted a show at the Embers for about 20 years.
It's a long ass time.
So, yeah. So it all worked out. You know.
You did it.
I did it. I had fun. Yeah, we had a lot of interesting things and a lot of interesting people go through there. So,
my favorite thing is that you told that story about the actress, and you know, if they ask if you can do something, yes, you can. My very first job, you took me to my very first job interview when I worked at Old Navy, and that was the advice you gave me. Like, if they can ask, have you done this? Do you know how to do this? Just say yes, and then learn how to do it. And I was all, okay. And I got hired. Granted, I was like 18, but still. I still remember that because we were sitting in Lloyd Center and you said, whatever they ask you, the answer is yes. Right. I'm like, what horrible advice. And everyone's like, can you? I'm all, I sure can. Right. Can you catch an alligator? Watch me. No, girl.
Can you manage the entire store? Yeah, why not?
Can you fist fight these people?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I won't.
Yeah,
but I can.
But I guess I could. It doesn't mean I'll win.
Well, now that's a different question, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you do it well? She never asked that. They asked, can you do it?
Right. Well, because like if someone asks, can you roller skate? Technically, I can.
Sure.
I will probably spend most of my time on my ass, but I can put on skates and I can move a little bit. I mean, the last time I skated, I did make it a few times around the rink before I fell.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And once I fell, I was like, I'm out.
And I'm done. Because you would crawl your way to the edge.
I had to crawl. I did.
I
crawl my way to the edge.
Let me tell you.
Pull myself up on the wall. It was very sad.
Look, roller skating's great, but...
Well, and the worst part of it was gay skate.
Oh.
So here I am.
Everyone you knew.
With every queer that I know, and a lot of queers I don't know, all going, oh, the big girl fell. And you know, are they nice about it? No, they all laugh.
No.
Even my friends, they all laugh.
Stupid.
It's like, ha ha. Did anyone come help me? Mm-hmm. No, because I would have probably pulled them down too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
let me tell you,
the facts are the facts. Jack.
Roller skating's fun. I've been roller skating and ice skating. Let me tell you, they're always fun. I think, but then I get out there and I psych myself out, and then I'm on the ground and I'm afraid I'm going to injure myself, like break my tailbone or something. So I'm like, I'll just sit here with skates on and pretend like I'm part of it. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like to
so
feel,
you can look cool.
Yeah, I like to feel involved, but not really do anything.
Sounds good to me.
Yes, ma'am.